how are you doing? Just an update really. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this video, so I did a vlog the other week, last week I think it was, about the poor state of the roads in my area. It was about the A679 at Accrington, which really has been in a bad state of repair for a couple of months now. But people said to me, yeah, I've got it in my area as well. So what we do know is that these potholes and these dangerous conditions are pretty endemic all over the country. So I've reported it, this one in this area, that said how bad it was. So let's see what we do about it. We obviously knew about it because there was, on the website, there's a sort of a map that shows you what's been reported and where, and that particular area was just blue flagged all over the place, which indicates multiple reports of problems. So do you think we'll get it done in weeks? Do you think it's going to be spring, or do you think we're going to wait till the better weather comes? Let's hope we don't wait till the better weather comes, because we might not get any better weather, of course. So the weather really is why I haven't been doing that much vlogging. I've been going back and forth to work on the bike, and it's been wet most mornings, but it is getting a little bit lighter now at 7:05. Not much, but a bit wet. So I've been thinking, well, I need a bit of an antidote to this purely commuting riding, which does destroy the soul out of me, to be quite honest. So I thought, well, if it's a decent day, I'll get out the bike for an hour and have a bit of a ride. But you know, I'm on my second day off now of 4, and it's done nothing but rain really. The sun's come out today. Well, it rained this morning, the sun's come out, but it just keeps throwing it down with every showers. So I'm rapidly becoming a signed up member of the I Won't Go Out If It's Wet club, and I'm of the opinion that it's meant to be fun, and if it ain't fun, I ain't going out. Having said that, I was kindly invited to a ride out on Sunday with a group of friends or motorcycle colleagues. I didn't go. I was glad I didn't go really, because it rained, and I'm sure I would have had a good time, but not enthused about the rain. But really I had too much to do on the Sunday, because we both work, my wife and I, full time. So at least if we're off together at weekend, at least one of those days we end up doing all the domestics. So it was a bit of a washing and you know, laundry day on Sunday. But yeah, had a good night out on Saturday with friends to one of the local towns, and a few craft ales and a drink after, and home on the train. And I was thinking, hey, it might be a nice place to have a ride this in the better weather in summer, and in fact I'm probably going to go. So maybe watch out for that in the future. So what have I got on my horizon? Well, I've got the insurance for the bike at the end of the month. That's due for renewal, so I'll be getting some quotes for that. Then the MOT is due, and I'll be due for some new tyres. I'm not sure at the moment which ones I'll be going for. I like the sound of the new Michelin, is it Road Pilot 5s, but apparently they don't do a Road Pilot 5 for my motorcycle. So it looks like I'll be going to the Road Pilot, or is it Pilot Road or Road Pilot 4s, the GT models, or indeed the Pirelli Angel GTs, which I've had on the ZZR 1200. I found the only thing with the Angel GTs, and it was just to my particular riding, was that I was going back and forth from the motorway a lot to work, and they tended to square off. But they were a good tyre, an excellent wet weather tyre, the Pirellis. So jobs on my bike, I've still got to get the sat nav put on, and the power socket. Well, that's been working well. I think you saw in one of the previous videos, I got one of those power banks that start the bike. You can charge them, start the bike. It'll power most things, but I've been using it for powering that mini compressor that I got for pumping the bike tyres up, and that's working really well. Yeah, I wondered how much power the compressor would take out the pack, but yeah, it doesn't take a lot of power out, and I can pump the tyres up. So yeah, it really was for 40-50 quid. It really was a good buy, that. And it's light, I can carry it in my tank bag and whatever. So yeah, so that's it all for the moment. Safe riding to you, and you know, as soon as this godforsaken weather gets a bit better, then I'll get some vlogging riding footage on here. Okay, bye for now.
Right, well, hello again. And as you can see, the weather's cleared up today. So I just thought I would brave the cold. 12 degrees today. Well, I don't think it's really 12 degrees, I think 3 or 4 degrees of that is off the radiator, so I have a bike running. So, just been waiting to come out the house. I had a few jobs to do. Sort the camera out to wait for the bin men to empty the bins on the back street. So as some of you will know, I used to have a ZZR 1200, and I'm still a member of the forum despite the fact that I haven't got a bike anymore. And one of the things, the questions on the forum seems to be, and you'll see from, if you watch the previous video of mine, I think it says silence is golden, I had a problem with the brake squeal on the ZZR, and I tried everything to get rid of it, new pads, tighten the bobbins, anti-squeal paste seemed to solve the problem, or brake grease, silicone brake grease on the back, but it still was a problem on my motorcycle, an intermittent problem. It didn't stop me from riding it, enjoying it, but there was a problem with it, and it seemed to be a particular problem with that particular bike, and it got me thinking. Each bike has its little Achilles heel, doesn't it? Usually, there's usually something about that particular motorcycle that's particular to that, and I wondered, you know, what else? What is it about your particular bike? What is its Achilles heel? What's annoying with it? What's a known problem with it? This particular bike, the FJR 1300. The particular problem that this has is sometimes not having the linkages for the shock lubricated. So that's a particular thing with this. I used to have a Suzuki GS 1000, and a particular quirk with that was it had hydraulic shocks on the back, but they were air filled, so you could actually adjust the rebound on them by putting more or less air in them. So you had to get those right. But each motorcycle seems to have its own little thing, doesn't it? And I wondered what your moan is with your particular bike. What do you have to watch out for on your bike that's just particular to that model? So what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to get a little tour down Whalley Range in Blackburn. Now, for those of you who don't know where Whalley Range is, there's been a recent panorama programme about it. And I think we'll have a look down there, just drive through, see what it's like. If you see the camera, keep moving down, just making sure that the mountains are fixed on it. So yeah, dry day today. What's forecasting it's going to go cold. So whenever I hang here on the left, it's somewhere that I wouldn't regularly go. In fact, I wouldn't go actually. There's no reason for me to go down there, so. But we're going to go and have a look. See how it is. Down there. I got that bit blocked off, which is a bit odd. Well, let's have a right here. See what this is like. This is actually at the back of the Whalley Range. So speed bumps, of course, obligatory speed bump. Well, this is actually quite an old Port of Blackburn, historically old. Terraced houses built to house the mill workers in the Industrial Revolution. Now, years ago there wasn't a requirement to have all these speed bumps. So obviously there is a requirement now because of the way of the driving. This is all new to me. I haven't been down here for a long while. And we've obviously made these staggered sort of things here to slow traffic down because, you know, it would have become a rat run, won't it? We know that. That's why they've put the speed bumps in. All part of diversity and cultural enrichment. And of course the obligatory kebab house. There's always, well, I was going to say one, but there'll be many, won't there? So that's a bit of a trip down Whalley Range. Another pub on the right hand side that's closed and now into something else, been used as something else. Junction here, that's new. Pothole on the junction. That probably isn't new. And this is what we call Skew Bridge, for pretty obvious names. And on the right hand side we've got Thorncraft motorbike place. Mixed reviews about that. I have used them in the past, and the work that was done was alright, reasonable enough, but just took a long time for them to do it. So the more I ride this motorcycle, the more I realise that it's a motorbike for doing a lot of touring on. Not saying you can't commute on it, you can. But that's what it is really, it loves to get up and road. So I'm not sure where I'm going today. I just wanted to get out, just something other than it raining. But as you can see, it's overcast a bit. The first few spots of rain. So if it starts to do anything like regularly rain, potholes, potholes, potholes. It really is like a bloody obstacle course though, trying to navigate yourself through these potholes. Not very nice at all really. So yeah, just nice to go from A to B without having to go to work. But if you just look at that in front of you there, how it is, don't know if it comes on the camera too well, but it's just an example of, I mean, you'd class that as a good road surface, wouldn't you really, in comparison to how things are. So one of the things I noticed, I got one of these 12 volt compressor things to pump the tyres up, and it's a great piece of kit, but the actual gauge on it is shite. It only gives you a rough idea what your tyre pressure is, but I've checked it with a normal gauge, and it is, you know, 5 or 6 psi out. So I've had these digital gauges that you push on and you push a button, but me, I actually prefer the old pen type gauges, you know what I mean, but have like the graduation on, and you stick them on the valve and it pushes the thing out, tells you got the pressure. I prefer those to the digital ones. So I've ordered one of those, although I could do with one of those that has the tube on the end, you know, it's flexible really, but I can't stretch to that at the moment. I'm on a budget, as I'm not made of money. So it's a bit arse pounding on this, on the potholes. I've never actually adjusted the suspension on it. You can't adjust the one on the back, it's either hard or soft, but with the forks on the front you can actually change them. I change the hard or soft, but just tense your buttocks and take the road. Right, I don't know if you can see, but the place on the left hand side now, this is what was known as the Wiltshire Orphanage. And it looks like that sort of building, if you see. Still cold today, my hands are cold, and I haven't put my heated grips on. Visor down, you should be able to hear me probably a bit better now. I don't know whether that made much effect on the sound. Lovely Pendle in the distance there, looking a bit bleak today. Langor, well, this place was really synonymous, wasn't it, with the colony. They used to call it Langor Colony, and what it was a hospital basically for people with epilepsy before we understood it. So if you had really bad epilepsy, you know, probably years ago, you used to get sent to Langor Colony. Alright, and come out. So, yeah, no longer there anymore. Like when we decided to thankfully bring people back in the community. Some of them were suitable to come back in, and probably all were suitable to come back in with the appropriate support. But they knocked it down, thankfully. But it was a big employer around here, in common with over was Langor, Calderstones, Brockhall, all round about the same area. And we've got places within places, they all have their own stuff there. There multi-bedded units and theatre and club, own cooking, own allotments, own farm. Thought he was going to come out round for a moment then. Thankfully he didn't. So unusually today, very, very, very unusually, the roads are actually dry. Actually dry, but still riddled with bloody potholes. Whalley bypass. Set the screen up a bit.
Turned out nice again, hasn't it?